ahead.
All right. Thanks everyone. Thanks Deepak for the great pre-polls and introduction. So, all right, let me start with the presentation and the webinar. I'll take you through what we are planning to cover. I'll give a quick introduction about myself. Then we'll talk about why we thought about the agent in first place. Right? We have tools on SciSpace, right? Why we need the agents? What can it do? And how does it work? Right? And then we'll dive into around 4 or 5 use cases based on the time. I'll try to cover as many as possible. I have kept some things already running so that they're complete by the time I pick them up, and some will run live, right? So okay, let me start by sharing my screen. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, that's visible. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me start the presentation. So quick introduction on my side. So I've been working at SciSpace for 3.5 years now. I'm currently leading the research team or the AI research team at SciSpace. In my past, I was a researcher at IIT Hyderabad, which is one of the good, top institutes in India. I worked in AI research, published back then in my graduate program in various top conferences in the AI world. Uh, and yeah, so currently leading the research team at SciSpace. So we have been building this product for last, I guess, 3 4 months. I mean, as a startup, we try to move fast. I remember we launched deep preview towards the end of February, and probably end of March or April we started working on this agent. So that's as SciSpace we try to move fast. We launched deep preview, we saw people happy with it, we realized okay, we need to take a step further, because the researchers are still limited in what they can do with AI. So then we realized agents is the next thing where models are getting better, and then we moved ahead. All right, so why research agent? So SciSpace has a lot of tools, right? You have literature review, you have your library, you have the chat with PDF, you have citation generator, you have AI detector, you have paraphraser, and so on and so forth. You have PDF to video, slides, all those things. Now each tool does a unique task, and that's probably the older regime of UX or products, I would say. What we want now is to collaborate across tools, right? Think of it this way: we have something called Notebook also, which helps you write reports and create notes and write manuscripts as well. Now convert when you're doing literature review, doing I mean creating a report on top of it, not easy to do, right? You are doing chat with PDF, you want to maybe do a peer review on top of it, not easy to do, currently not possible to do, right? You are you have some data, Excel sheets, you want to generate visualizations, not easy to do. So we want basically for researchers to communicate freely and do tasks also freely. So hopping across tasks or joining two tasks to get the end result is what we want this agent to empower the users, right? So because what one of the feedbacks that we got, or when we talked to a lot of users through the webinar, through other mediums, they would tell, okay, they would explain us their workflow. They would tell, hey, I do this search on SciSpace, I copy this output from SciSpace, then I go in some other place, there I paste this output, then I get a different output, then I paste it somewhere else, then I get this map, then I create a Word doc, and then I create Excel sheet, and then I also separately generate the graph, then I put it in Overleaf. It's like a big pipeline, right? And researchers have taken that trouble to build the pipelines, each researcher having their own separate pipeline of the tools that they love and they feel are best for each step of research. So what we wanted was that this is a lot of effort, this is a lot of time spent in doing it, and we tried to solve this to an extent with multiple tools, adding small hooks and features in there, but we realized the researchers were not getting that experience, and it will never be good enough. That's when the agent came into the picture. Now agent, you have one place where you do everything. You have all the tools and more coming every week. You have an agent or a LLM that understands the entire context, that what did you start with, where are you now, what do you want to do further, right? It can do long running tasks, it can plan tasks, everything, right? Another thing, we were like, okay, there are some agents out there. We know ChatGPT recently launched agent mode. There's something called Manus, GenSpark, and so on and so forth. But we tested all of them and we realized they are very general purpose agents. They are nothing made for research, right? They do not work well for research. They will bring out some papers, but never thorough, never accurate, and never satisfactory. Even me as a personal researcher in ML, I never got anything satisfactory. So we realized we have to make something for researchers, which has researcher specific tools, researcher specific workflows, access to the databases that researchers want. And again, in terms of the way it is entirely built, user experience as well as all the prompts focus on research. That's when we decided we have to build something like that. And that's what we have built. So I'll give you a quick overview of how the agent works so that you have a fair idea when you start writing the query. So usually a user query starts with, the agent has to understand the query. It understands what the user wants to do, what all I have to do over time, right? And it starts planning. So usually it creates a multi-step plan for your query. If it's a very simple query, it might not even need a plan in some cases, but in most cases, we expect people to do long running tasks which have planning. So once the planning is done, agent will execute the research task. Now it will execute the research task with the help of 100 plus tools and databases that we have given access to. So agent has access to this many research oriented tools and databases, as well as we have given it access to some research workflows like systematic literature review, peer review, converting paper to code, all those things. So lots of 20 plus research workflows, and we are keeping on adding regularly to it. So based on this, it will start executing this task, and in a way it will kind of iteratively go through multiple steps to get your task done. And it also has the capacity always to talk to the user whenever it has a doubt, or whenever it thinks that user can give more information on what to do, it will talk to the user. So this is a very, very high level. Sorry if I'm going fast, because I want to actually take you to the agent quickly. And because I think this theoretical is never makes someone lot happy until they see the demos, right? So, okay, I hope everyone's clear so far, right? Can I get maybe a yes to know that everyone's okay so far? All right, thank you so much. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So what are the use cases that we are tackled in this agent? And to be really honest, sky is the limit. But the top ones that come to our mind is systematic literature review, manuscript writing, data analysis and visualizations, website creation, research paper peer reviews, the ones which you get from when you submit to a journal or conference, research gap finding, and a lot more. I can name myself few, like generate an idea, grant proposals, search for clinical trials and get reports, whatnot. I mean, because of the access to tools and because it can do everything, this list can be very high, right? And let me tell you one thing, right? In this entire diagram, the agent has an access to an entire computer here, right? So it's like you doing things on your computer, but agent doing it. So the agent has access to a computer which has everything that the agent would need to run, and that's why it can run code, it can create stuff, it can create visualizations, it can create websites. Sky is the limit, right? It can write Latex files and whatnot. All right, so I'll take you through the agent screen first before we actually jump onto the demo. So this is what the agent screen looks like. You'll have something where you can type your query, a prompt tip: write query as detailed as possible, right? Do not spare any detail, is what I would say. Do not leave anything for assumption. Be as thorough as possible, because agent takes into account every possible information for each step. right? If you want something specific, be very specific, be as long as possible. Now we have this deep search. Okay, let's start with leftmost. We have this attachment, so you can attach PDFs, CSV files, and various other files that we normally use. You can attach those files which you need for the agent to run on. Deep research is a click thing where it will, for all the searches that it uses for the literature review, it will always do deep search instead of the normal search. So that's a user preference. Because deep search takes a lot of time and cost, so we have given user an option. Whenever the task is a bit difficult, use deep search. Whenever not, you don't need to click it, right? And we have something called credits, right? So this the approach here is different, right? We like in deep review or in literature review, we know the cost per deep review or per literature review or per chat with PDF, and based on that we can keep fixed monthly costs. Here we give certain amount of credits to the user based on the plan. There's free, premium, and advanced, and then based on users consumption the credits go down, right? And then user always has a choice whether I want to, how many credits do I want to consume? If my consumption ends, do I want to buy new credits? We always have that option to add on credits. Or do I wait for next month because my tasks for this month are done? So it's an entirely credit-based system because we didn't want to also be unfair to the users as well as us, because some charging very high for someone who might use very less credits, it's wrong. Also, someone might use lot more, so that charge us also, it's difficult to maintain it, right? So it's credit based. You pay as you can go, as you consume, right? At the bottom you'll see some quick tasks to start with. You can click those. You have some popular tasks that I also mentioned about, right? And this is the page. So this is where you will usually start. We have a new URL, I'll tell that. And this is one of the agent screens. I just wanted to give you what the layout looks like before you start. So this is someone's query, let's say, a grant for, so this is actually a query I wrote: search for grants on quantum computing, understand all its details, and then write a compelling grant proposal. Ensure you search and add stats as necessary for grant proposal to ensure my lab has a good chance of acquiring the grant, right? So this is my query. Now, like I mentioned, first it will create what we call a to-do checklist. So it will, create a plan for your task. So the plan here is, let's say, hey, search for this grants, analyze top grant opportunities, get detailed information, then search for quantum computing based research, industry stats, market data, eventually create main proposal structure, generate Latex PDF report with all the components. Isn't that amazing, right? I'll show you the output for this one, okay? Because I ran it, I think yesterday or so. I have the output and it's pretty good. So here you will see agent is running. That tells you whether the agent is done or not. You can always check the plan status. Like in here, I checked it, took a screenshot midway, so it had done these many steps. It was working on the remaining. We have something called the live activity. Live activity, which will tell you what is the current step going on. And there is a screen, and here you can see like these are the steps that are done, and this left side is your area where agent will communicate whatever it wants, like what step it is doing, what are the outputs, any questions to the user. Everything is the left side. Right side is only for outputs, live activity and outputs. Now the outputs is basically a list of files the agent is creating on the go. Because it has access to a computer, it can create any number of files that are necessary for the task to be completed, right? So let's say one of the situations was where it was doing some abstract screening decision. So this is likely a systematic review task where it was running a lot of abstract screening on various search results. And it was, so these are the list of files it had created. It also downloaded a lot of PDFs and stuff. It created a lot of CSVs. We'll go through this task also. And this is where the file is, what you can see here. So this is the whole layout of the agent. I'll now take you to the task. Before that, how many of you are excited for this? Does this already make it exciting for you from what I've seen so far? Maybe you can give a yes or no. All right. Someone said no. Okay. Yeah, hopefully by the end of this webinar, we change the opinion. Thank you. Yeah, I can. So the reason the webinar is because it can be a bit confusing because it's an entirely new dimension. It's a new UX. It's something that is not there in the academic research space at least, right? SciSpace is the first one to get out with something like this. And that's why it would be totally normal that it's confusing to you. And let me point out, we are also improving on it day by day. Like every day we are releasing update to the agent to make it more stable, more reliable, more satisfying for the user. And one thing I can assure you from my side is that we will not stop until we know every user is satisfied, right? All right, so let's go to the demo. So I'll take you to this home page that we discussed, right? Let's start with some example, right? Okay, you guys can maybe suggest some tasks based on what you've seen. Maybe we can pick one of those, right? In the meanwhile, so you can put all your tasks. Yeah, the session is recorded. Would it create? We are trying to minimize it, but in all our tools, we say that AI can create any, sometimes hallucinate. We try our utmost from our side to reduce it, but you should be careful. So I would recommend you guys to put some tasks that you would want me to try today, and we can pick one or two of those. But until then, while you put, let me show you the grants one, right? So this was the query I put, which we saw there. Now, here if you see, I can click on this to do. It will open the to do. Now, if you can see there, this task was pending. Now it has already completed this task. So that means we can see the final outputs. Okay, I'll take you through all the steps it did. So it started searching for grant opportunities because that is the first step it has to do. So if you look at every step, you get to see the output. So the transparency, again, why we feel confident of the reliability for researchers, because we are being transparent at every step. So it searched government grants. I guess these are US government grants. And it searched for certain queries on quantum computing. It got a list of grants, right? So step one, great. Now it started reading through the grants. It looked at the top 10 grants. I mean, this is again agent having the entire computer because it can run bash commands, it can run Python code, everything. Now it realized, okay, based on what it has seen here, this grant number 355196 is the most exciting grant that it wants to read about. Now it got all the details of that grant through an API call, right? I found a major NSF quantum computing grant worth 32 million. Now it's saying, let me gather supporting research data to strengthen the proposal. So now it started first gathering academic research on quantum computing. It got some SciSpace papers. Secondly, it started searching the web also. What is it asking web? What is quantum computing market size, funding, statistics 2024 25, so that it gets recent ones, investment trends. So it got some results. All these will be clickable links that you can open. So agent can read to the entire article here. It also searched PubMed and others. So maybe PubMed did not have anything. So it's very transparent. We did not get anything. Okay, now it actually will update the to-do saying, hey, these are the few tasks that I've completed. Now it started writing the grant proposal, right? So it's, again, if you look at this, it's using Latex throughout. Again, user can say what format it wants, Markdown, Latex, and then you want a PDF, you want a PPT, you want a website, anything is fine, right? Because agent has the capabilities to do all of that. So if you see, it started writing separate sections separately. So this is the main section. Now main section is referencing all the other files that it's going to create using the Latex input command. And it's writing all the sections. Then it's compiling the Latex proposal to PDF. So maybe in first attempt it was not able to compile. Then it made some changes, installed some libraries, replace some text. So it realized, okay, I have maybe put some Gantt chart and it could not compile. So agent is self-corrective, right? That is the most important thing. it realizes Latex compilation failed due to a missing package. It installed the package and it said, let me create a simpler version, right? And we'll see final PDF. Then again, there were some errors. It's continuously doing it. Great. Finally, it should complete the PDF. Now that is where the improvement in the models helps, where models also are aware of what are the minor things in Latex that can go wrong, and it could continually improve itself. And finally, it updated the to-do saying, hey, I completed the entire task. Now, if you look at the final summary, it tells you what all it did. It identified this grant opportunity. It found this, research, market analysis, and it completed the grant proposal. And it gave all the essential components in the grant proposal, right? And it tells you what are the main files. So this main.pdf is the final file. So it will tell you the final files it created, right? And you can check those. Okay. So you always have, so we have all the files it created, right? So if you look, it created so many files for this task. You have the option to download the PDF. We can just look at it here. So it started with some, based on the what is suitable for the grant opportunity, it created this. So since I am not working in this domain, I asked it on a general topic. What you can do is you can tell, hey, my research lab works on this. You can give links of your research lab and your topics or your papers. Then you can tell, hey, find similar grants, or if you might have a link of the grant, you can give that and tell, for this grant based on my lab, now create a proposal, right? That is really powerful. Right. So here it has requested for 8 million over a duration of 5 years. Okay. Now, so look what all it has done. It has given an executive summary, the vision, innovative areas, the market impact. Now all this it got through the web searches. So it combined web and academic search. That is really, really powerful, right? And academic search is also SciSpace literature review, so that's high quality. Web search again is already good data. So it gave budget summary. Why does it need this much? And then it started giving the entire project description, background motivation, critical gaps in current infra that it wants the funding for, technical approach. So again, based on the academic researchers also telling, okay, what all you will focus on. You'll focus on drug discovery, finance, and all of this you can give in prompt. Hey, my research wants to focus on one specific aspect and write a grant for that, right? And if you wouldn't believe, it has created a 28-page report, right? And now, I mean, you can look at it. Operating costs included. Isn't that pretty amazing, right? Maintenance, operations, outreach and training, everything included to reach the figure that it wants, right? 5-year timeline is given. I mean, as a human, when I would write it, I might not think of all the things. So as a first draft, I think this is pretty good. And then I can look at it and maybe update it. And you can always download all the Latex files. You can then work on it yourself, or you can even tell here, hey, remove this section, or hey, update this, update that. It will remove, update, recompile the PDF and give you, right? And at the end, if you look, it has a references section which has 41 references, some research papers, some websites, all combined, right? That is pretty impressive. And tell me how you feel about this, right? Does this excite you guys? I surely hope it does. And if something doesn't, do tell us. That tells us what we can improve, right? All right. So, okay. Systematic literature query. Okay, thanks. Someone said my mouth is on the floor. Amazing. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for this review. So, okay, we'll pick up one of this role of mindfulness meditation in stroke. We can search on this topic. So let me tell you one thing. Role of this search is basic search is something that the SciSpace literature review already does quite well. You have literature, you have deep review. I know as a user, it's not easy to think further quickly because it's something new you are seeing, but I would encourage you to think more steps, more complex tasks where you have combining multiple steps of your chain, right? COVID-19 vaccines. Yeah, we can certainly do that. Someone read my mind. Let me show some systematic literature review that I've done on something similar. Okay. Okay, before we go there, what do you want? So we also give some follow-up questions. We can run a systematic literature review on quantum error correction. Let's click on that. You can also build an interactive website. We will come to that later. I have a very important use case for website building that I would like to show all of you guys. Let's keep it running. We'll come back to it later because this is an agent. It will take 10-20 minutes. And the aim is a task that takes human hours or days or sometimes even month. We want the agent to do it, right? So that the human can focus on the tasks that really require the brain activity. So it's eventually we want to come to a stage where agent can keep running for hours, and at the end the final output is really amazing, right? So yeah, let this run. This will take some time. We'll come back to it later. Let's see how it starts with. At least it should. Yeah, okay, so it started creating the plan. Okay, let's wait for the plan and then we'll move. That's the fun. So when I use it, I always like, okay, let me wait for next step. Let me wait for next step and then let me move. Whereas my aim is to keep it running and me doing something else, but it's so much fun to watch it do things that I'm like, okay, let me see what it does next. Okay, let's wait for the plan to complete. And all right, we are already at 8:05. We have 25 more minutes. Yeah, so it's planning. It has understood your query. Okay, the plan can take close to a minute or so, especially in tasks like systematic literature review. Now, systematic literature review is a workflow that we have as a part of our agent. So the plan will be very, very thorough. I'll show you the details. So it's a workflow. And that is why it will be better than any other tool out there, which is for generic agents. Yeah. Okay, let's wait a minute. Okay, this one's probably taking a bit longer. We can come back. Systematic literature plan usually is quite big also. So we have seen, okay, it's done. Okay. So to-do.md, let's go to it. Right. Okay, it needs to update here. Let me refresh my page quickly. So these are some of the issues that we're working through. We can, what do you call it? Wait for it to complete. All right, yeah. Okay, some things sometimes not updated. So let me stop this task. Okay, first it has created the review protocol. So this is a primary research question. What are the objectives? What are the inclusion criteria, exclusion criteria, right? All of this. So I think the plan is somehow not dated here because it's from the previous task. Let's run this separately. So we can continue in the same tasks, but it's better if we can, always update. So let's run this task separately so that we get to see a more clean plan. So these are some of the bugs that we are working on currently. All right, let me run this task separately and let's come back to it in a while. Okay, one of the other tasks. Okay, so this is create a peer review for the given paper. Now I gave it a PDF that is ML specific. It's some clustering specific. And peer review is something that when at least I upload, submit to a conference, I'll get, let's say, 3 reviews and then a chair review. And eventually that will be the decision to accept or reject. So that is the task I gave it. Now this is again one of the workflows for research. So if you look at the plan here, right, it tells I'll pass the PDF file, I'll view the images, because as a human, I'll view the images, I'll extract the bibliographic information. So that is what also I'll look at. I'll formulate some search questions. So it will basically what it will do is based on what research you have done in the PDF, it will check for novelty in existing research. Isn't that what a normal reviewer does? It'll search for related papers on SciSpace. Then it will write a novelty and impact report for that PDF. And then it will generate 3 peer reviews. So you'll get 3 different opinions. And eventually, based on the 3, it will write a meta review. This is the plan. I am pretty sure this is a decently good plan that you would be happy when an AI does. And if you look, it follows the plan to the T. So first, if you look, it has parsed the PDF. So you'll get this parsed output. Then it is reading the parsed file. Then it has asked the Copilot tool. So the chat with PDF that you have, we have it here as well, right? Then it has searched on SciSpace for multiple queries. And then it started the peer review analysis, right? So first, this is the analysis of the paper. What does the paper do? Because it has to cover the strengths, the technical concerns, weaknesses, areas for improvement, novelty based on the search results, major strength, major weaknesses, all of it, right? Overall assessment stuff. Now it started writing the 3 reviews. So first review, let's see what it says. So again, first review is so all the 3 reviewers are a different focus. So one is a technical focus. Second, let's see, is application impact focus. Third is critical perspective focus. So if you guys are submitting a PDF to a journal or conference, I would highly recommend to use this prompt, right? Create a peer review for the paper and see what it does for you. And you'll get 3 opinions. And I'm pretty confident they can be good for you to improve on before you submit the final. So this is like a pre-submit before any conference or journal submission. So it listed down everything. It gave a 6 out of 10 confidence. The second one, it did similar thing but a different perspective, gave a 7 out of 10. And the third one was, like we saw, critical perspective. This one would, be very, very critical of it, gave a 4 out of 10. So this would be like the key points that you really need to improve. And then it wrote a meta review combining all of the 3 reviews. It wrote a meta review combining, giving you the highest priority issues from them, lower priority issues, and a final assessment, right? Overall, it gave a high because 2 of them gave a high confidence. And here the agent is telling you, hey, this is what I completed, this is what I've done. The rating summary from all the 3 key findings it has given here, and these are the files it created. What next? Yeah, maybe let's ask it to build an interactive website here, right? And in the meanwhile, let's go back to the quantum correction study, right? Let's see what the plan says here. All right, so we have a plan here for systematic literature review. Let's see if we have esteemed professors here, faculty members, we have PhD scholars, postdoc students, all of you. You guys can look at this plan and tell me if it's good enough, right? So first is define the research question and criteria. Understand research question, inclusion, exclusion criteria. Then it is searching SciSpace deep review, it's searching Google Scholar, it's searching PubMed Advanced for various queries to get the initial set of papers. First step, it's screening the titles and abstracts. So this is the step 1, to find which of the papers satisfy the criteria. Second step, it will download all the full text for non-SciSpace. Because SciSpace, wherever we have, it's open access, we already have the PDFs. Non-SciSpace, because Google Scholar PubMed, it will try to download the PDFs into this agent's computer so that it can work on top of it. Then it will screen the full text, right? Pretty good. Now it will remove duplicate articles because some of them across 3 might be duplicate. It will extract data that it's needed for the final, Prisma report. And interestingly, it is following the Prisma compliant format. It will create separate text file for each section. Then it will create a main text file, compile the PDF for review, right? Let me know in comments if the agent does all of these steps properly. Would you be happy with what the agent has done? I mean, obviously you'll have to look at the output, but do you like these steps that it has decided to do? Let me know with a yes or no. And what would you like it to do differently, right? All right, most yes, maybe. Yeah, I mean, you would have to look at the output. So now this task, a normal person might take a very long time, right? You have to search, you have to create the criteria, you have to, then screen abstract manually, screen full text manually, find PDFs at different places. Yes, library is coming up soon. So someone has asked about whether it will create read from my library. Yes, it's coming up pretty soon. We are working on that. We know that integration of library and agent is like very powerful, and that will be very exciting for all of you. So now it started working. So it's written the research questions. Now it will start the inclusion exclusion criteria, and as a researcher you can always stop and give it instructions. Hey, stop, and maybe change this in your approach. Okay, maybe you didn't like the query, it fired on Google Scholar. You can, hey, fire Google Scholar with this query and then continue. You can always stop anytime, because we also don't want agent to go in a wrong direction and you not having control to make it stop. So you'll always have that control for agent to stop, and then you can guide it properly, because at the end it's an AI who doesn't know everything, right? But yeah, I'm really happy to see that. Yeah, so Prisma compliance is, yes, very important. Duplicates are removed before screening. All right, we can do that. Yeah, that should be very easy. Someone has said it would save an enormous number of hours. That's really, even with the need to do deploy, it's still helpful. Awesome. Cool. So this, it will keep on, it will take 30-40 minutes to do this. So let's see if we get to come back to it before the end of seminar. Let's see what has all right, I think Deepak has a question for you guys, and let us know. We'll pause for a minute. So someone has asked, is there a provision for the selection of different methods of analysis? Everything you want, just in your user query, be very detailed, right? Will it be detailed? Okay, 91% of you have said that we can extend the session by 20 minutes. I'm really sorry for the remaining 9-10% who want to go away, but the recording will be available on YouTube within some time after the webinar, so you guys can watch the remaining there. But yeah, remaining ones you can keep giving me suggestions. Can agent guide us for review generated? You can ask any query, it will do it. Be very specific. Yeah, export to MS Word format. Thank you for the feature. All right, let's get back. So we had asked it to create some website, right? So let's see where that was. Okay, where was it? So this was a separate task. Okay, there's so many. Yeah, the peer review task. Okay, it's working on the website. So it started working on the website. It created the website plan. Again, yeah, what it will, technical stack it will use and stuff. It's writing the website. Soon we'll have the website. Let me give another example of website. Okay, so what I did here is I gave it my based on the publications in the link. So this is a Google Scholar profile. Create a research author profile for Rohan Tondulkar. All right, so it browsed to the profile. It scrolled and scrolled to look at the entire profile. Then it was going through multiple pages to look at the next set of research papers. So like I told you, I didn't want it to spend much time and just focus on creating the website. I paused it, told only use the first page, do not do any browser actions further, because all this scrolling is on a browser. Okay. Then it started working on it. So first it created the profile, right, in Markdown format. But then I told it, okay, now I need a website. So this now becomes my author website profile, which I know a lot of the researchers, professors, faculty people have to take effort to maintain. So you can ask SciSpace Agent to make it, and then just asking it to update it, right? So it created this website. Eventually, it also deployed it. So the interesting thing is the website is also live, right? It deployed the website called Rohan Portfolio. Now, that is the amazing part, right? You give ChatGPT, ask it to create HTML pages, it will write. Can it read Google Scholar, maybe if you give link, yes, it will. Will it deploy it to SciSpace or any place? No. So this is the website it created. Now, I didn't give a photo, so it used a random photo, and I can just tell it in the next chat to, hey, remove the photo from the website, right? Or maybe I can attach a photo and tell it, hey, use this photo instead. Both can work. But the photo apart, you can look at like, okay, it shows 10 publications, this many citations, years active, 4 research areas. Now, there will be some issues. You have to prompt next to fix the website, right? Because it's a entirely chat-based. It's saying it found out what were my research focus, what is my most cited work, breakdown of how many papers in each area. And again, it has given all the publications here, along with a filter, how many in AI and NLP. If I search on this only, I get NLP ones. If I search on fintech, I get only fintech ones. If I focus on information, so it has added that filter also. It has given career progression also. It has given my key collaborators for different years and so on. Now, with some prompting, I can even fix this further, like not this image, fix the nan values, whatnot, right? And that would be an amazing website. Let's see what it has done with okay, so here also it's completed almost the website. We can see it in its local machine. Yeah, so it's working website. It will soon deploy it. It's going through the website. So after it creates the website, the agent also itself scrolls through the website to see what it can improve further, right? So if you see, it's scrolling through different parts of the website to see is something working. And we told it basically to create a website showcasing the peer review methodology. So it's going to show you the steps it took. All right, I hope that also is pretty exciting. So website use case, great. I think we might use it. I mean, I guess researchers might use it lesser, right? Yeah, so systematic literature review. Let's see the quantum study. Okay, it's working. It's searched the SciSpace. I have a systematic literature review ready for you guys. Okay. So create a systematic literature review on COVID vaccine trials done in India. Use all databases to search relevant papers, write a detailed report, right? So yeah, here again, it created a similar plan where it kind of was the similar Prisma plan, because we have a workflow for this. Okay. All right. It has done a lot of steps here, right? We can look at the final report. Yeah, look at the files it has created. It has downloaded a lot of PDFs, a lot of files. Okay. So this is a Latex format report. You can download the Latex files as well. You have the unique paper CSV. After all, the filtering, screening, everything. And along with, table of content. So it has written in Prisma format. I hope so. Yeah. So it tells you significance, need for this review, objectives, secondary objectives, methods, protocols, eligibility criteria, exclusion, inclusion criteria, the information sources. So it will also tell you the search terms that it fired on each database, study selection. Yeah. So these are the Prisma review. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Data collection process, risk of bias assessment, data synthesis. Some figures are missing. So that's again. So agent, you have to remember, think of it like a research assistant or a intern or someone who might do great. 70-80% of it might reach there. Then you have to tell it, because you are the manager of the agent, right? You are the lead. Think of yourself as the agent lead, and you can correct it. Hey, you missed this. Hey, this is wrong in your PDF. Hey, this step was skipped. Can you do that step and update the report? You can tell all those things, right? It did study characteristics, vaccines type studied. So, okay, 4 vaccines studied, viral detector, DNA vaccines, study designs. Now, this is totally not my domain. Now, you also have the studies included in citations. Amazing. All right. Real world effectiveness, populations. Now, it has also told like across multiple cities. So, how many cities were included? All of that is included in the report. Interesting. And 20-page report, right? That is pretty good. Now it's final discussion summary of the main findings. Vaccine diversity, people took different vaccines in different areas of India. safety profiles of each. Interesting. Implications. Okay, I have to scroll faster maybe. Future research directions also it is given. So what are the biases? There's language bias, publication bias. Yeah, true. There's bias. So it identifies bias towards publishing positive results. Sometimes can be there in clinical trials or in country-specific trials as well. Conclusions. So there's a shorter conclusion. There's a bigger conclusion here, and references, which is like that most important. Okay. Based on what you have seen, I think there were few who asked for systematic literature. There was one certain person who also asked for systematic literature review on COVID vaccines. This is India specific. I just wanted to check for that. But let me know your thoughts on this review. I am, yeah, will answer this question as well. Let me know if you like this report or what do you feel of this report. All right, fantastic. So to address Sehar Nigar's question, so think of it this way: Google Scholar is a AI tool that helps you find research, right? Now, all the AI tools are there to do the parts that are mundane, right? But it never means that as a researcher you should stop doing the parts that a researcher should do. For example, now obviously this is not my domain, so I skimmed through the research, but a researcher has to check each step, be sure that the steps are done well, and do some of the steps manually if required, right? Also, this report researchers has to verify, has to check that there are no hallucinations in a way, which are already quite low, I feel, based on the systematic literature reviews done in my domain, but which will reduce further down the line. You might find some cases. So using AI to help yourself is certainly great. I mean, so as a researcher, you certainly use interns, you certainly would use all possible sources to get the innovation faster, right? I mean, we are entering into a age where productivity speed up is is happening already. As a developer, I am using AI heavily to write my code, but as a developer, I have to read every line of code as well. But AI gives me a great first version that I can improve upon or ask AI to improve. Does it make me less of a developer? No, my job is to build products faster, right? That's what's exciting because I can build products faster with agents. And I mean, the goal is achieved, right? The goal is never for me to build as slow as possible so that maybe I have to work as less. No, the goal is for me is how productive can I be while working so that the products improve faster. Now, doing this entire agent for our SciSpace, we have a pretty small team compared to maybe big companies. We have a 20-30 people team. To build this entire thing in 3 months, including the research, is not easy. But AI does help us build faster, right? And the improvements will come fast and quick. So keep using, stay tuned, right? All right, let's probably go back to the peer review task. And we can, so it has completed the job. So if you look, the final step, now the agent is not running. Whereas in the quantum one, you can see the agent is running, right? And you can check the plan status. Whereas in peer review task, it says it doesn't say so. So agent is complete. This is the live website, right? Let's open this in a new tab. Okay, master that of peer review. How to do? 8 stages, 3 perspectives, 12% improvement. This is the average score in our case, right? So step 1, it has given details of each step. Okay, that's pretty good. And this is based on what it knows based on the workflow. Case studies are given. So it used the paper that we uploaded for case study where it said, okay, different reviewers judged on different things, scores they gave. And for each reviewer's output, it has created a short summary. Pretty good. Best practices, tools and resources to use. I mean, whatever is aware of. And it has some templates. I don't know. Oh, something downloaded. Okay. Okay, it gave a review template also. That is pretty impressive even for what I've seen the agent do. Okay, application review template, meta review template, amazing. All right, we'll close this website. Let's look at some of the tasks. Okay, another interesting task. Create visualizations, right? We talked about it in the presentation. So I gave it an Excel sheet and told it for this Excel sheet, create various visualizations, which I can add in my report. Okay. Now, let me also show you the sheet because it was pretty complex Excel sheet. So this is some of the experiments we ran at, SciSpace, some ML-based benchmarking. Need not go into details, but this is the Excel sheet I shared, which had basically it was a retrieval-based benchmarking based on different approaches, right? Whether to use query transformation and whatnot, retrieval top K, re-ranking. These are basically the benchmarking we do to ensure the search results are good. The best is what we want to use. So I shared this Excel sheet, asked it to create visualizations. Now, so here, if you look, it did not create a plan. It felt, okay, I can create Excel's visualizations without the plan. It's probably straightforward. Let's look how good it has done. All right, so it started writing a Python code for it. Right, it wrote a first, okay. Okay, it wrote a Python code to just, understand the first few rows and data types and statistics of the website, right? That is pretty good. So it's getting a feel, what is there in the website? How do I do analysis without knowing what to do? Then it actually wrote the main Excel code. Sorry, it ran this code, okay? It installed some packages that were missing. Then it thought, let me write a simpler thing. Eventually, it could read the Excel, right? Now I can see the data structure. Let me examine the data more. Okay, that's cool. Then it started, now I understand the data structure. This appears to be learning to rank, which is the retrieval and the steps after that. Experiment results with different query transformations, retrieval methods, and re-ranking models. Let's create a various visualizations. So it started writing again Python code. Now this is big code. It has written, let's say, close to 360 lines of code. It started running each of them. Okay, so it ran this successfully. It saw that, okay, there are 4 or 5 files, 5 images created, and started looking at each of them. So it can also view the images. We'll also go through the images. Eventually it realized, okay, let me also create more comprehensive visualizations. Okay, then it wrote a Python script for that again. Again, this is a pretty big Python script. Then it started looking at those images. Eventually, it wrote a summary of what visualization it did, actually for the entire data. So it told me, I mean, me looking at Excel, me looking at this report, probably the similar thing. It told me what is my top performing experiments for different models in different situations, what happened with query transformation impact. And it also gave me a breakdown of its charts. What did it do? So it did a performance analysis chart. It did a heat map chart. It did a chart specifically for query transformations. It did a chart for model configurations, summary table. Okay, this is pretty good. Now, if I'm writing a report, I would just tell it, hey, now write a Latex report for this experiment and include the created charts in the Latex report. Give me a final PDF output. Be very elaborate. Be whatever is in your mind, I would say tell it out, blurt it out, right? Now it will run that. In the meanwhile, let's look at some of the images it created. Right, so it has created some, okay, this is bar charts across multiple comparisons. This is the heat map, which is also pretty good. Query transformation, special analysis done for it, like with QT, without query transformation, with oversampling, without oversampling, how many, relevance based on the experiment number. That is also good. Model configuration. Okay, based on different models. So Cohere is doing how much, GPT is doing how much, different things. Okay, so again, it's probably executing the plan. The first step, and you can always give a thumbs up, thumbs down based on what I see. So if I give thumbs up, thumbs down, it'll ask me a report, which you can give details, what you liked, what you didn't like, feedback. That really helps us improve the agent further, because this is an improving product. We launched it last week for advanced users. It's now available for everyone. Different credits for different plans. Yeah, so it started to write the main text file. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, and this is a data CSV it made out of it, so that for easy reading for itself. Because the Excel we gave was colored and all those things, so it converted it into a data file that's okay for itself. Right? It also created a data info. Amazing. Okay. So it created so many files. Now that I have the graphs which I like, I can also obviously tell it, hey, this graph, can you instead use this colors? Can you instead use this X label, Y label? Or in the first, it's instant Excel, I can tell if I have clarity on what graph I want, I can tell it, hey, create this graph with this kind of, create a memory heat map with this y-axis, x-axis, and all those things, right? Okay, we'll see how it goes. Let's check the chat for any queries. Thank you. Yeah, okay. AI content. So I think that is a common topic that we discuss probably in every webinar. So yes, if the report is directly used as is, it will be flagged as AI. So in advance, you need to know if AI checks are happening in wherever you're submitting your Prisma report or any manuscript. What I would suggest is, if you know that AI checks are happening, use the SciSpace output as a draft, and then rewrite in your words, and that rewriting usually has helped me also understand it better, right? Because when I'm rewriting, thinking, I am not skimming through, right? So yes, you can certainly have the AI detection issues. So soon, it's not here yet, but in few weeks, the AI detection also will happen through the agent. So you can, kind of, as a follow-up question or in your first prompt itself, always tell, hey, whenever you generate my PDF, also run the AI detection on it, and tell me what parts will be AI detected. And as of today, the SciSpace AI detector is state of the art for research based text. We are publishing a paper on top of it. This is advanced information that I'm sharing. We're publishing a paper to show how across tools we are ranking the best. Right. So you can freely use the SciSpace AI detector currently also. Like, you can download the PDF that it creates, upload it in the AI detector, and check it out. And yeah. So, all right. So this one's writing. Let me look at the chat to see if I have some new queries that I can file. All right. Specify database to query. Yeah. So let's pick this one up, because pretty sure many will be excited about that. So quantum study. Okay, it's searching. So it's searching default literary databases, SciSpace, Google Scholar. We, based on the domain, we try to search PubMed, archive, different things. So the prompts on what database to search and stuff are getting updated. So at least in the systematic literature review, it will search through all databases, right? So we can start a new query. So by the way, the most important thing, if you go to SciSpace, you'll see this link for the agent, right? Which takes you to scispace.chat. All right, so the link here is scispace.com/chat. This is the agent link, right? So hey, search through Google Scholar, archive, PubMed, and SciSpace obviously on let's say now let me put something on my domain, applications of LLMs in quantitative finance models, prediction models. So you can specify the databases it will search, right? There are some limits on how many parallel queries you can run. I think there's something 4. You guys can try it, but yeah, because the agent can take certain amount of load at a time. All right, so it will start searching Google Scholar, it will search archive, it will search PubMed, it will, okay, PubMed is probably not necessary for this topic. I should have given something on biomedical. So maybe we won't get anything good from PubMed. Rest 3, we should get good papers. Right, so Google Scholar results are already here. Oh, all of the results are here. So we can go through all of them. So, oh, sorry, I put it back. Okay, let me go back to the query. Loading will take a time. Yeah, okay. So it's not now reading some of the things. Yeah, so let's check the Google Scholar results. Yeah, so if you look, we have the title, snippet, and even the abstract. Now, Google Scholar doesn't give you abstract. So SciSpace takes the effort to try to find abstract itself, right? So this is again an advantage of using Google Scholar through the agent. And yeah, so you have the papers here. You have, let's say if we got anything worthwhile from PubMed, like we expected, nothing in PubMed, because it's quantitative finance. Maybe if we would have asked something in biomedical, we would have got archive. Yes, we'll certainly get stock movement prediction and stuff. SciSpace obviously will get a lot. Now it's reading through the results, analyzing, and then it will start writing the report. Yeah, I think we had created something on the visualizations. Okay, it's still writing. So that also you have to realize maybe you need to take a coffee break while you ask agent to do, or the actual aim is you let the agent run, you do all your other tasks, come back to it after a while, or keep checking in short durations of where it has reached. Because we use the topmost model here, and that models are slower, so it takes a good amount of time. Okay, we have gone 10 minutes past. I think you guys all agreed for 20 minutes extension. Let me quickly check if there is any more questions. So we have that one question is answered. Yeah, I'll answer on the credits also. Access papers that aren't open access. So we access from PubMed, we access from archive, we access from Google Scholar. We are adding databases daily. So on the other, so okay, SciSpace will have papers that are not open access, but we might not have the PDFs for those. Other websites also same story, right? In some cases, we open access PDFs will try to fetch ourselves. Other pages, again, let's say Google Scholar will always sometimes give you the link for open access. Non-open access, we can access title abstract is what I can tell you. Because anything else we do is also not illegal, also not legal, sorry, is against the licensing of all these publishers, right? How much credits are used per task? Okay, systematic literature review will take few hundred credits, right? Because it's a long running task. Normally, let's say the Google the website I created for my author thing, right? That probably took 50 credits or so. So smaller the task, smaller the credits. Larger the task, larger the credit. So yeah, systematic literature will take you few hundred credits. But so the thought process is, so the credits are directly proportional to the LLM tokens and sometimes some of the resources that we use for all the, let's say, Google Scholar calls, or wherever we use any paid APIs as tools. So credits are directly proportional to the LLM usage also. So in this case, it has written a lot of the text files, so all these are tokens that will get charged for, right? So credits, yes, we are in working in progress. for optimizing or reducing the credit consumption to make it more sustainable. So that's where I'm telling you, like, you can be rest assured that the agent will improve. It will improve in quality, it will improve in tools, it will improve in reliability, it will improve in citations, it will improve in cost per task as well, because that's some of the focus for us, that users should be able to do maximum possible tasks with limited usage of credits. Yeah, let's see. Okay, we can start questions. I think we have 5 to 7 minutes. I tried with more than 200 credit for a systematic. So systematic review will take credits because the number of steps are higher. Yeah, I told you a few hundred credits, right? So that is something we are optimizing on. Our aim is that users should feel, okay, with the credit spend, it did save me that much amount of money. Yeah, grant from other countries we are working on adding. Currently it's US governments. There's a website, I think, for open grants, I think, which has grants across all. And we are working on integrating that as well. Which AI model is using? Eventually, we aim to give you the flexibility to select the AI model. So someday you will probably see option to select, hey, want to use GPT 4.1, want to use Claude, want to use Gemini. Currently, we pick and choose based on the task, but we try to pick the best for each. So that is the reason the credits are costlier. We are working on that as well. PhD research proposal, yes, you have to specify how you want the PhD literature research proposal, what literature review you want it to do, it will do it. Yeah. You have an old product to format a manuscript paper into journal format. Yeah, this old product is currently active, but not actively maintained. That, I mean, is, so the aim is to bring those formats here. Eventually we'll have integration of that with the agent. That's the thing. Paper title is on rising. Okay, nice. Hopefully this helps. Can it create forest plots for meta-analysis review based on? Yes, it can create forest plots. Nice. All right. Someone has yeah, I have probably focused a bit on things that I am aware of in terms of the domains. I would request you to strongly try queries in your domain that would help. And do you need to recheck bibliography always? It will reduce going forward. It's early days, so not all, but you can skim through it. If you find no issues in skimming, maybe it's all right. All right. Any questions, Deepak, you want to take? I think a lot of the questions that are addressed, some can, I mean, they can obviously post on Discord as well. But yeah, Deepak, you can take up any questions and let me know.
Hey, thank you, Rohan. I hope you're not tired.
No, that's all right. Yeah.
Okay. Most of the questions is on terms of uh, literature review done by AI tools acceptable by journals. That's one across multiple queries asked in different phrasing. That is number one. Then I think that there are 80 plus questions even I'm like running here and there. Turnitin. Let's say, would these outputs be flagged by Turnitin is the second main question asked.
Okay. So, okay, to answer first, so I think AI detection, so certainly the journals and conferences don't have a criteria that you can't use AI tools to help yourself. Now, let's say all the AI tools, be it ChatGPT, be it SciSpace, or any research specific AI tools, they try to help you uh, do the task faster, right? And no conference or journal stops that. A lot of them stop AI written content. So that is where I mentioned you might have to rephrase the things. Plagiarism, Turnitin won't flag it because it's a rephrased. So let's say you do a literature, you will read some papers and write what you understand from that paper. So agent is also doing the same thing. It's understanding the research and writing in its own words. So plagiarism checks no, but AI detection checks yes. So that is what you have to look at, right? Yeah. What was the second question? Yeah,
Turnitin
Turnitin. I
flag.
think yeah, that we answered. So before we take the next question, I think here what we had told is we had asked it to create the analysis and then asked it to write a latex report, right? So it has written a latex report. Uh, Wow, 18-page latex report telling the what I've done based on only the CSV it has seen, right? And it has put all the graphs in the latex report, right? All the graphs that it created, and that is why the report is longer because it has a lot of the graphs. It has also given its analysis. I think, yeah, I'm impressed with this. Pretty good, yeah. All right. Future directions also it's given some from its own knowledge. Now, so these are some of the aspects, right? Now I know that this is something the agent made itself. So I can, when I review it or when I actually try to submit it or actually start using this report, I know what sections to be very careful about because I know the agent did search for anything. So the future research directions are from its own knowledge of that domain. Uh, so future research directions can be good, like explainable ranking, which is a good direction, but it's from its own knowledge. You have to be aware of that. And eventually everything will get better. But yeah, it's impressive that it has accommodated graphs, formatted things well, and written a very long report. All right. Yeah, Deepak, coming back to you for the next question.
Okay. The next question is, I mean, in the input, can they use non-text queries? Like, can they add YouTube links? Can they add some other kind of links? Yeah.
So you can add browsable links. YouTube, we are working on supporting it soon. Uh, but yeah, you can put a blog link, you can put any other web links. Multimedia, so
Mm,
images you can certainly put videos, audios, or YouTube videos links
okay.
is something we are working on supporting. But any other links will work fine. You can upload CSV files, Excel files, uh, any kind of other files, images, as many as you want. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's helpful. Then I'm just going through one. Okay. This is from, okay. There are other platforms. Okay. Can it create, I think you have already answered, but just for the question, I'm just saying it. Can it create forest plots for meta-analysis based on CSV files or based on CSV files of paper or trials that we submit from our end?
Yeah, certainly. So, like in this case, I had submitted an Excel sheet, right? So you
Hmm.
can submit everything. Uh, be very clear of what you want. Like I didn't specify what chart I want, so from its knowledge, it created everything possible. But if you want a
Okay.
specific chart, you have to mention that, and the agent will take care of it.
Okay. So I have one question which will tie most like 50 plus questions in the chat section, which is, can you help the attendees understand how can research agent support their entire PhD journey? Let's say if I start till end, can you tell them how it can help them throughout the journey with ethical compliance attached to it?
Okay. So yeah, PhD journey has multiple steps, right? So first step, initial steps or initial time, first year or two is on understanding the literature. So doing literature survey. Then you want to identify the gaps in that domain and then take it forward, right? So simple. My query would be, hey, this is a domain I am interested in. For this domain, fire. Let's say you can just say fire 10 queries on SciSpace, right? And find out all the possible relevant literature. Uh, then you can tell it, you can fire not just on SciSpace, Google Scholar, Archive, PubMed, whichever is okay for you. And you can tell it, now look at all these 10 results, 10 search results, try to find the research gaps from all of it. So this is the initial step. As you go further down, I think obviously agents can't do experiments yet, but it can help you write any amount of code. So we have something coming up by tomorrow, maybe, is where you can upload a PDF and ask it to write the code or build a repository for that PDF. Yeah, so what you can do, hey, some of the research papers, so at least in my domain, I have to write code to run the experiments in different papers, so agent can help me write that. Then once I run the experiments, have results, I can use agent to analyze it. I can use agent to quickly create reports. Soon we will have so currently also you can create slides also, by the way. You can ask agent create slides for this paper or for this report. It will create slides, because as a PhD scholar you do have to uh, you know present in multiple scenarios, right? Sometimes to a professor in different conferences. So slide generation, right? Whatever paper you have written, latex slides also it can generate non-latex PPT slides as well. uh, it can help you write quick reports, what do you want to submit, right? Because when you're not submitting conference journal, you're submitting as an assignment, as a to someone on other side. The AI detection is not there, the quality is important too, you have to verify on that. And then research paper writing, you can ask it to create the first draft and then you rephrase it. You can ask it to create charts for your research papers, which across PhD you'll write a lot of research papers. And final thesis again same, you can create the outlines, you can create the drafts, you can ask it to give ideas on how to make it in different ways, like make it more interesting, what charts can be more visibly you know catchy example. Uh, and you can ask it, or best thing, every paper you write, submit it, ask it for peer review every time. Your research thesis, ask it for peer review. uh, all those things you can do, right?